And in the words of John Cleese from Monty Python, and now for something completely different. Welcome, everybody. Josh, the RV nerd of Bish's RV, down here at Modern Buggy in Edwardsburg, Michigan. This is quite possibly a manufacturer you haven't heard of before. They're a company that's been around a little while, and a couple guys that have been around the industry for a long time took the company over, and they seem to be growing. And I've noticed a growing number of these in the Bish's RV lineup, and I was like, I want to learn what makes these things tick and broadcast that out there and get some opinions on this. Because when I first looked at this, let's be, you look at this and you almost go, oh, it kind of looks like an R-Pod. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. But the thing is, the more that I started to peel this thing apart, the more interested I became. Like, it's a full fiberglass exterior. There's no rubberized roof membrane or anything like that. And then I started going through their factory, because that's actually where I am right now. It's a full aluminum skeleton with all composite everything for the most part, basically. So like your roof is, again, all aluminum construction. Your sidewalls are an all welded aluminum cage with Asdel backers on the inside and outside layers of the sidewall. The floor is a 3/4 inch composite thing called Vixenite. It's made by, I think that's owned by an Airxcel kind of company, but it's not a wood floor. It's not wood walls. It's not wood roofing or anything like that. This is what I call a good bones construction. Let's say, God forbid, you have some kind of leak. Yeah, you don't want to leave it like that, but the structure of the RV kind of can't fail unless you run into it with a lawnmower. And that's something I like. And as a result, it makes it crazy lightweight and very easily towable. And I'm really curious to know what you think about these things as we go. Now, the trick with a little camper like this is really hard for me to get everything in frame all at the same time. Even though I loathe doing it, I gave you that quick little, I call it floor plan in a flash, brief wide angle view, just so you could kind of see how the entire layout plays against one another. I'm going to try to do that backwards real quick in a more traditional lens and frame. That's one of those retractable shower screen walls for your wet bath right there. And let's just talk about that. This has a wet bath. That could be a instant kind of deal breaker for some people. I get it. I respect it. We'll come back to the bedroom. Like I said, for now, I just kind of want to give you I would say a fast once over, a slow once over, so you get to see the general layout of this thing. That is a 12-volt TV. Obviously, it can pivot around, so if you want to watch it from the bed or kind of from some of the dinette area, you absolutely could. One thing I kind of became aware of as I stepped in here is the campsite window coverage is actually not too bad considering the size of the RV. It actually gave me some pretty decent views all the way around. Oh, hello. This actually does have the privacy shade installed, although I'm shocked to see a top-down privacy shade, not a bottom-up privacy shade. I haven't seen that for like a year and a half. So let's kind of start from the top and work our way down. I'm actually going to sit down on the bed to try to give you as much of a view as I possibly can. But starting from the top, we have a 13,500 BTU air conditioner, which should be making you breathe icicles in this little thing. I'm sure it's going to make some noise like Katy Perry and roar when you kick it on, but it should keep you cool in this little space. But notice how the ceiling is shiny. It's fiberglass. I mean, there's no wood up there. There's no wood in the structure of this RV. Now, your cabinetry is wooden, just to kind of give it some level of warmth, but there's no actual real wood in the structure of this RV. And the exterior of the roof is also fiberglass. Up front here, you've got the kind of wraparound front lounge U-dinette. This what is it, like a 171 R-Pod, something like that? I can't remember. Anyway, we are looking at today the optional fold-up overhead bunk. It does not have to be here. But if you have a small family or you're doing some buddy hunting camping or something like that, it can give you that extra sleeping space just to create more individual areas. Now, the lagoon tables are a little more laborious for quick time reasons. I have not fully folded this down, but this also can become one big sleeper. You might see those black little rectangle things sticking out. That's where the table will go down. And this whole thing could also be one sleeper area. Or you could actually remove the table if you wanted to create a little bit of a front lounge space. And if you're not familiar with lagoon tables, here's an easier way to get to look at what's down here. It's not your traditional knee knocker dinette post kind of system. The whole thing can well, you can raise it, lower it, you can spin it around, flip it upside down, roll it over, flip it, and reverse it, misdemeanor, Elliot style. A little bit of whatever you want to do with it right here. For transit, you should have it in the down position. Then you see those buckle straps down there. That's what helps keep the table from jiggle banging around and smashing into stuff. If you want to keep your phones charged up or something like that, they include a couple power outlets up here. With the table being a little bit mobile, sometimes those feel sort of in the way, and sometimes they feel like they're just in the right place. It's just kind of the nature of a mobile table situation. Now, you don't have anything like heat vents or floor vents. What you do have are my dirty footprints through here, which I do feel badly about. You might notice everything, all the windows except the window in the entry door, they do open for airflow. I'm going to slowly get you spun back around the other direction. The ceiling height in here, I just kind of became aware of the fact is a little bit lower than what I'm used to encountering. And to give you an idea, this is kind of what it looks like in a lot of RVs with me walking around in it. But if I stand straight up in this thing, my head is kissing the ceiling. Flat-footed, I'm about 6'1". With the shoes that I'm wearing, I'm probably standing here about 6'2". So I think this has about a 6'2" ceiling clearance. Normally, walking around, I can just kind of deal with it. But you could potentially encounter some challenges. And things like that might make this RV less desirable in somebody's eyes. But let's be real, you're potentially spending a lot of money, and I really respect that you are considering potentially bringing your business to our front door, and we don't want to get your business, we want to earn it. So if that means this is not the right camper for you, that's okay. We will find you the right RV. Give us a chance and we'll go to work for you here. The kitchenette and everything is very basic, like you'd expect in a little RV like this. Cabinet construction. Hold on. Let me find. Here's how you tell cabinet construction. Find where a stile meets a rail and reach back here. I can't feel. What? I can't feel this. What is this? Okay. Method number 2, if you can't feel the fastener, which indicates to me it's probably a stapled fastener, put your phone in selfie mode and look back there, and you can actually see where they do have the little structural staples kind of holding the cabinetry together. Quick side note on this. Would you prefer pocket screwed cabinetry? Probably. Yeah, it feels better, certainly. I'm a guy who has seen many, many thousands of used RVs in my lifetime. I don't really know that I've ever seen a single time where the cabinetry fell apart because it was a stapled fastener. If cabinetry fails, it's usually for other reasons. But I also think you should always purchase according to your peace of mind. If that's a problem for you, no problem. Again, we can find you another RV. I just want you to know for real what this RV has and what it doesn't. So moving on from here, you've got a dual high output north-south burner, which is very common in smaller campers because it does create a little more counter space. There's just not room for a propane oven in something like this. So, a lot of people who camp in little campers like this, they find other ways to do their cooking, whether it's the campsite fire pit or whatever. This is kind of your electrical center down here where you have your fuse box converter, your solar charge controller. Sometimes people wonder, like, that solar charge controller is actually only doing stuff with the 100-watt solar panel on the back of this. This RV also has a portable suitcase panel. Those portable panels have their own separate charge controller, and they play nice with one another. They independently look at the battery. They ask if you need charge, and if the battery says yes, they charge it. And when the battery says I'm done, they both just quit. It works out just fine. You might notice up here, too, where they do some nice blackout roller shades, which is a nice touch. And this is an easy thing to miss, but little things like this matter a lot. They basically have like a mini shelf on top of their shades right there. which, you know, a place to maybe set a phone or something like that can be very handy. They also are really smart about putting those little mesh pockets where they can, whether it's phones or anything else that you want to put in there. The bed is a somewhat odd size. I think it's like a 60 by 77 or something like that bed size. So it's not exactly a true queen, but it is darn close. I think it's just slightly more narrow than they were able to pull off for a true queen bed system. And that brings us back to Doe, kind of to the TV where we started. So I thought real quick we'd take a look at the kitchen storage before we hit the bathroom, before I forget to do those things. And obviously the cabinetry hasn't changed much. I kind of forgot. These overhead cabinets are not gravity defying. They're not anti-gravity cabinet doors. So you will have to open these with one hand, grab what you need, then close them. The thing is, again, because it's a shorter ceiling, that's not a very difficult prospect. I try to be fair, and this is just my opinion. So this is not a hard fact. I am not an authority. I personally don't care for this sink. It looks like a lot of sink for not a lot of sink, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of like Rockwood's got a little bit larger square sink that I think would be kind of cool if they had maybe adopted here. But the drawer construction, the thickness of the drawers was far beyond anything that I expected here. And this isn't something that I can display on camera, but for lack of a better way to say it, the hand feel, the solidarity and the smoothness of operation here, whatever they're doing in their cabinet shop, they got it figured out. They're doing the work down there. And I actually love the fact that they didn't try to shove shelves down here, because it gives me a spot for a wastebasket. And look how they even finished it all the way around that little wheel well. Manufacturers typically don't spend time doing finish work where you're not going to be looking. So when a manufacturer actually does, that's kind of reassuring to me. Sorry, that cabinet door made a big noise, by the way. That's one of the reasons I normally try not to manipulate a lot of cabinetry on camera. I don't want to blow your eardrums out. People ask me, hey, do you watch this guy or that guy's RV videos? I don't. Not because I'm like, oh, I don't like him, he's competition. I just don't have time. All I do all day is make RV videos. And when I go home, I just want to drink a Mountain Dew and watch cartoons, because I really never grew up as a Toys R Us kid who eats Flintstone vitamins. That's just kind of my life right there. That's a big cabinet space. It almost looks like maybe they thought about putting a microwave up there, but went, the storage would be really nice in this one. And I am actually a little bit impressed that they thought to give us a little bit of hanging space. But if you don't care about hanging clothes in a little camper like this, you could get one of those little like hanging organizers and turn that essentially into a shelf pantry or like dresser cabinet. This is, by the way, a 12-volt fridge, because when you look at this very often, this is going to look like one of those college kid dorm fridges, but this is a 12-volt power source refrigerator right here. And I'm going to try to grab a hold of this so it doesn't make a big racket, just in case it retracts quickly. But it does have one of those retractable shower doors. Now, pardon my dirty footprints in this bathroom right here. I out in this little space that I'm recording today, I'm kind of walking on crushed asphalt, and it's been raining, so unfortunately I'm tracking a little bit of that with me. And it's a wet bath. It's a combination bathroom, shower. I call it the 3 S's, where you can sit, shower, and shave all in one. You might have noticed, though, I appreciate just that little pocket right there, so that, like, if you are showering in here, you have a place to put your shampoos and your body washes. And this is not wallboard. It actually, is, hold on. Have they? No. Okay. It's not. What do I want to say? It's not wood paneling. It's a shower wall board. It's not this stuff. It's actually made for this space right here. And how about that? Putting a bigger vent fan in this little bathroom. That was actually something I really didn't expect. But again, I was kind of glad to see here. And no slides. No slides means always road mode. So if you're doing a lot of traveling, we're going to talk about suspension on the outside. This has decent suspension package. It's small, it's lightweight. It's not something that's going to boss around a lighter duty vehicle. And if you pull into a campsite late at night, or if it's a long trip and you just pull at a rest area or gas station, there's no slides in the way. You could leave it hooked right up to the vehicle, walk back here. Heck, you could cook dinner if you wanted to. sleep out the, the fatigue from your eyes, then hit the road in the morning. Easy. And like I said when the video began, the difference in the construction on this, the all aluminum structure, the insane use of composites, even the floors, the double-sided walls and everything, create a very lightweight package. This has only a 3,500 pound maximum gross vehicle weight. That means that potentially those minivan type people might be able to tote this one around. Now, that is absolutely maxing what a minivan can really handle. So I don't recommend doing a ton of that, but if you're just camping local, you're good. But the thing is, like, what if you have, like I drive a Ford Maverick with a 4,000 pound rating. Technically, this is within it. It's still a lot more than I would personally want to tow with that vehicle. But you got a tow package, mid-size pickup. Your daily driving SUV maybe has a light-duty 5,500 pound tow package. You're good. You don't have to give up your daily driver to get a hold of this thing right here. Now, the awning. Let's talk about the awning right here. It's a little bit small, but one of the more interesting aspects of this is that it's actually a one-touch power open awning. The thing is, it's kind of raining right now. I don't want to open it up a lot, but now that I've set that stage, I feel like I kind of gotta. All right, we're gonna make this work. Cool thing is, it moves slow enough that I could run in, hit the button, run back out, and let it do its thing. Now if you want to open it partially, you could. It does have some arms that can drop down and attach to the little black square brackets you might be eyeballing on the side of the camper. And I think what this is going to do is it's technically a very light drizzle day today. It's going to give you just enough of a little cover to be able to walk in and out of the RV without getting rained on. It's not a massive awning. Like, I'm not trying to overpromise and underdeliver this thing. That's why I took some time to showcase it on camera. But it is also a very easy awning where you can just one touch it and it does its thing. And I haven't moved that quickly since they had buy one, get one 10-piece chicken nuggets at McDonald's, but I got in and out. We're gonna let that awning roll its way up. Let's talk suspension. There's not a lot of options on this. The suspension's one of the only options. First of all, their base suspension is a Dexter Torflex system, which does not suck. That's like the same thing that like Rockwood's GeoPros ride on, to give you an idea. They do have a, oh crap, I just blanked on the name. I want to say Timbren suspension package, an upgraded, little heavier duty suspension package if you are so inclined. And remember, your wall panels here, the inside and outside layering, like below the fiberglass on the inside of the wallboard, like the wallboards are Asdel. It does have a full welded cage aluminum frame. They fully glue and hand tuck in place batten insulation and everything. Essentially, this is the same general construction method that you'd find on a really heavy duty big fifth wheel, like a Riverstone or a Cedar Creek, that you're getting here on this tiny little guy. And as a result, it saves a lot of weight. Let's talk solar real quick. On the back here, we're looking at a permanently mounted 100-watt flex panel. But these always include a 220-watt portable suitcase system. So these standard, right there you see from Renergy, in the junk in the trunk storage system. So these standard have 320 watts of solar. And if you want to park under a tree to save some heat, you can use 220 watts of that to chase the sun and, set that suitcase panel out in the sunshine. You might need to adjust it a little bit during the day, but you can stay a lot cooler that way. And still, hopefully keep your batteries charged up. You might see the receiver hitch sticking off the back tail right there. That's going to be a factory standard thing, giving you a place to like put bike racks and whatnot. It is rear stabilizer jacks only, I noticed. If you wanted front stabilizers on this, typically a set of scissor jacks is not extremely difficult to add to an RV. The tankless on-demand water heater over here, I opened that up, check that out, 60,000 BTU. And the sewer on this model is all a singular outlet. Now, another thing here is, remember, this does not have any traditional RV rubber roofing. That is a one-piece front-to-back fiberglass skin with welded aluminum cage structure. And it's a narrow-body RV. So it's lightweight. It's easy to see around. It's mobile, it's towable, it's hostile, it's agile. It's absolutely, I would say a big bopper to bop around, but this is a little thing, although they do call it the Big Buggy. So again, this is new to the channel. First time I've ever recorded one of these. What do you think? You know, good, bad, ugly, or in between. Don't hold it back. Share it with us. I will do as I always do, leave you some links in the video description to double check pricing and availability, as well as some similar floor plan layouts to some other builders that I've recorded. Although the construction of this one kind of unique, which I like. It looks the same as everyone else, but it's what's below the surface that I think really defines this one. And our early warranty stats on these have been very encouraging, which is something that I like to see. So, until next time, appreciate you tuning in. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.